friends, welcome to another video from Education Center, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the American Revolution, a timeline of events. Before we start, please make sure to like and subscribe for more awesome content from Education Center. American Revolution Overview. The American Revolution 1775 to 1783 was a pivotal event that changed the course of world history. It was a struggle between Great Britain and 13 of its North American colonies which sought independence from British rule. The Proclamation of 1763, issued by King George III after the French and Indian War 1754 to 1763. It forbade American colonists from settling west of the Appalachian Mountains to avoid conflict with Native Americans. Colonists felt that infringed on their freedom and growth potential, sowing seeds of discontent. The Stamp Act. The British government imposed a direct tax on the American colonies, requiring them to purchase a government stamp for all printed materials. Examples: newspapers and legal documents. Colonists saw this as an unfair tax without representation in Parliament. This led to widespread protests, including the formation of the Sons of Liberty, which did violent acts like burn down buildings and tar tax collectors. The Boston Massacre. Tensions between colonists and British soldiers escalated in Boston. On March 5th, 1770, British troops fired into a crowd of colonists, killing 5. The event was heavily publicized by colonial leaders, fueling anti-British sentiment. The Boston Tea Party. In protest of the Tea Act, which granted the British East India Company a monopoly on tea sales, a group of colonists disguised as Native Americans boarded British ships in Boston Harbor. They dumped 342 chests of tea into the harbor, a direct challenge to British authority. This act of defiance further strained the relations between the colonies and Britain. The Intolerable Acts. In response to the Boston Tea Party, Britain passed the Coercive Acts, known in America as the Intolerable Acts. These laws closed Boston's port, curtailed town meetings, and increased the British military presence in the colonies. And the acts united the colonies. The First Continental Congress, or meeting. In response to the Intolerable Acts, representatives from 12 of the 13 colonies met in Philadelphia. They drafted a petition to King George III demanding the repeal of the Intolerable Acts and agreed on a colonial boycott of British goods. The Congress marked a shift towards unified colonial resistance. The Battles of Lexington and Concord. The British troops were sent to seize colonial weapons stored in Concord, Massachusetts. Colonial militias confronted the British in Lexington, where the first shots of the Revolution were fired, leading to a skirmish in Concord. A skirmish is another word for a sword battle. This marked the start of the Revolutionary War, so now tensions are starting to spice up. The Declaration of Independence. On July 4th, 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, primarily written by Thomas Jefferson, as we know is the third president of the United States. The document formally declared the colonies independent from Britain, citing grievances against King George III and articulating the colonies' right to self-govern. The Declaration marked a turning point in the Revolution. Key battles and turning points. The Battle of Saratoga, 1777, a major victory for the Americans, which convinced France to formally ally with the colonies. Winter at Valley Forge, 1777 to 1778. The Continental Army endured harsh conditions, but the training and discipline they received helped turn the tide of the war from the French. Battle of Yorktown, 1781. The final major battle where British General Cornwallis surrendered to General George Washington, effectively ending the war. As we know, George Washington is now known as the first president. The Treaty of Paris. The Treaty of Paris officially ended the Revolutionary War, recognizing American independence. The United States gained territory, including land west of the Mississippi River, and Britain agreed to remove its troops from American soil. The treaty laid the foundation of the establishment of the United States as an independent nation. Nice work, historian! Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more awesome videos from Education Center. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about the American Revolution.